Hello everyone and welcome to Easy Electrical. As you all know that we are running our video lecture series that is on the subject electrical measurement. So today it will be the third lecture. We had already covered two lectures. If you haven't covered the earlier lectures, please go through the lectures. And today I will start discussing about the topics on the indicating instruments and the deflecting torque. Now you all know that we are basically an online only coaching institute where we are running the Easy Electrical SSC JE 2021 course. And if you want to know further information, just call this number 833 506 7725. So you will get all the information regarding the classes and everything. So in our course, what we basically do, we basically take care of the technical part as well as the non-technical part. Other than that, every month end there will be a test series, and in that test series you will be given the answer sheets as well as the detailed discussion sessions will be organized. After every class there will be notes given to you and practice papers will also be handed over to you. So whenever you take a easy electrical class, the class will be recorded and will be given to you free of cost, and it will be available via YouTube or via G Drive. So no extra charges will be there. So coming to today's class, today we will be discussing on the topic of indicating instrument and the topic of deflecting torque. Now you all know that in indicating instrument, basically three systems are majorly important. One is called as a deflecting instrument, one is called as a controlling instrument, another is called as a damping instrument, damping system. Now these three systems we can measure, or we can give a small idea about it. Now the small idea is that deflection means movement of a pointer. Okay. Now control means when the pointer ultimately stops or shows any particular limit. And damping means suppose I have shown a particular value, or a meter has it is showing a particular value, and that particular value in that position, whatever the value it is shown on the specific time. Suppose 5 ampere, it is showing directly, there is no variation in the output. Now just to give you a small idea, here I have shown a basic figure. Here you can see this is an arrangement of a pointer. Now whenever a deflecting torque is applied, due to the deflecting torque the pointer starts to move in this direction. Okay, and based on that, based on the amount of the deflecting torque, the deflection of the pointer will happen. Now here also you can see another two parts, that is, one is called as a control weight and another is called as the balance weight. Now what the control weight does is, suppose after application of the deflecting torque, the pointer moves and reaches to this position. After reaching to this position, here the pointer gets stabilized. Here what happens is, the application, that is the deflecting torque, and the control torque becomes equal. That is the reason why in this position the pointer is getting stopped. Here the control weight is used to control the spindle or the pointer in this position. Okay. Now uh, coming to a simple example or simple definition of a deflecting system, you can write one simple statement that it is the torque, or it is the arrangement because of which the deflection of the pointer starts. Suppose we are talking about a ammeter. Okay, suppose we are talking about a ammeter. The current that is flowing through the ammeter, it actually moves the pointer. The current through the ammeter actually moves the pointer and creates the deflecting torque, so in one word we can write the deflecting system as like in this way: the torque which is required to move the pointer, which is required to move the pointer from its initial zero position, from its initial zero position zero position, from its initial zero position to the initial zero position to the final deflected position, final deflected final deflected position, to the final deflected position. So because of the continuous current through the instrument, this is basically happening. Continuous deflecting torque is exerted on the moving system. The moving system, here I will show you a figure. In that you will see that what is the moving system is always the pointer will be reaching the full scale position, which is undesirable. Suppose what's happening is, if a system only has a deflecting torque, what will happen? The pointer will ultimately reach from zero position to its final position, and we will not get the exact or the desired reading if there is only deflecting torque is present. If only TD or deflecting torque is present, then we cannot get the desired reading. So only deflecting torque will not have any result, or only deflecting torque will not give us uh, any system will not give us any fruitful result. So this is deflecting torque, definition of deflecting torque. But what is a deflecting system? The system which provides deflecting torque. Deflecting system is nothing but the system which provides the deflecting torque. Suppose here in this case, we basically call the deflecting system as the prime mover. We call it as the prime mover. Okay, we call it as the prime mover because it produces the deflection of the pointer. The deflecting of the moving system converts the electrical energy obtained from the circuit to which the instrument is connected into the form of mechanical energy, which ultimately produces the deflection. If this system were not used, there would be no force to move the pointer, and the very purpose of the instrument will not be served. So the simple understanding from this we can get from here. Now coming to the next point, that is our controlling system. Another system, that is our damping system. We will get in details to this. So first we have discussed the deflecting system. Now we will discuss the remaining parts. That is, there you can see indicating system. We have discussed the deflecting part as well. So here you can see a simple figure, and we have discussed the deflecting system. So deflecting system is what? It is the arrangement which gives / produces deflection of the instrument. Deflection of the instrument / deflecting torque or converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. That is, the electrical energy in the current, it is converted into mechanical energy. That is the deflection of the pointer. Electrical energy means whatever the current we are supplying to the instrument, and mechanical energy means whatever the displacement that is happening in the instrument. Now coming to the next part, that is our controlling system. As you all know that if only TD we are having, we cannot get any desired result. Any desired result cannot be obtained. That means only TD will not have any desired result. So we need a balancing act. This balancing act is provided with the help of controlling system. So the controlling system is that part. The controlling system controlling system is that part which provides the controlling system is that part which provides control torque, control torque means suppose a pointer has started its deflection from its initial 0 position and has reached a certain value. Okay, suppose it has reached a point where it is showing 5 ampere for for an ammeter. Now it has started from 0, has reached 5, but it has not gone further. Why? Because there has to be some amount of force which is also pushing in the opposite direction. This opposite direction force is nothing but caused due to the control torque, nothing but caused due to the control torque. So this is sometimes also called as the restoring torque, sometimes also called as the restoring torque. So if a point, and suppose if we guess a condition or try to accept one certain condition that there is no control torque, so the pointer would have gone to the maximum of the scale, that is to the other end. Suppose here something here, that is the our maximum limit of 10 ampere ammeter we are using. So the deflection of the pointer will take place from 0 to 10, but there is no control torque, there is no one to control, so the reading will continuously increase. So we are trying to get the reading at 5 ampere, but we are getting 10 amperes. Okay, so moreover it would not come back to the 0 position as well, and we will not be able to get the 0 value on the withdrawal of the voltage or the current which is producing the torque. That means suppose we are applying here some amount of the current, and due to the current what will happen is the pointer will move from 0 to 5 ampere position. After the 5 ampere position it will also move to the 10 ampere position. Why? Because there is no control torque, no control element is there. Now when we switch off the supply, suppose we have switched off the supply from this point, after switching off what will happen is the pointer will not move back to the 0 position. So if only control torque is absent, or we can write when control torque is absent, we can write when control torque is absent, the pointer will not get back to its original position after removal of the deflecting torque, or after removal of the current or voltage, whatever it is applied. Okay, so two main points are there, two main understandings we have developed. That is, first of all we have developed the understanding of the deflecting torque. The deflecting torque is produced by the deflecting system. Okay, and next is the control torque. Control torque is the balancing torque or the restoring torque which is produced by the controlling system, Now if we do not have the control system, controlling torque, what will happen? Due to the deflecting torque we cannot get a particular value. Okay, because we do not have control over the instrument. Now one more thing will happen, that is I have added here as well, that is the most and critical point. Some questions are also asked based on this as well, where I have tried to mention one point, that is when the control torque is not present, what will happen is the pointer will not get back to 0 position when we have switched off the supply, that is voltage or current. Suppose in a circuit where we are using an ammeter or a voltmeter, we have switched off the supply, that is we have removed the source, the pointer will not show the 0 reading. The pointer will get here, somewhere here, it will remain here, it will not show the 0 reading after removal of the pointer. Okay, after removal of the supply. Okay, now coming to the third part, that is the our damping system. Now damping means whenever suppose ammeter is there and the controlling torque is also applicable, controlling deflecting torque is also present and control torque is also present. What will happen here is after application of the deflecting torque, after application of the deflecting torque, a pointer will move and reach to its steady state position, or the final position, or the final reading position. Suppose say 5 ampere it has reached. Here in this case, what will happen is, we know that at balance position these two torques are equal, that is a deflecting torque and control torque are equal. But other than that, here we call it as the equilibrium condition. Here we call it as the equilibrium condition. But other than that, what happens is that in the final position, suppose in this position, the pointer starts to accelerate or starts to oscillate about the final reading. So this oscillation, what it does, we cannot get the final reading. Okay, so up to this point we have considered. Okay, so we have earlier studied up to this point, that is our from this section, that is the damping torque. So to give you a small idea about what is our damping torque and what we call in damping torque is that torque or that part of the system which we basically provide to uh, stop the oscillations of the pointer. Whatever oscillations are there, we need to stop that oscillations, and for that reason we are basically employing systems. So different systems are there, maybe air friction damping, liquid friction damping, fluid friction damping. These are all basically used to get the damping. Now in the later sections as well, we will be discussing the damping system in a detail, and as well as the controlling system, as well as the deflecting system will be considering here as well. So in one word we can say it plays an important role in the operation of the instrument. It is an essential part, and which brings the pointer to a steady position quickly. Okay, and one more important point is that in the absence of the damping system, owing to the inertia of the moving system, when there is an inertia of the moving system, you can observe that inertia, what it will do, it will make the instrument, it will give the instrument reading, but we cannot get the perfect result just by showing the instrument. So the instrument would go on oscillating about its final steady state deflected position for a considerable period of time after coming to the rest. ঠিক আছে, this would lead to inconvenience and waste of time of the taking of the reading. So one question may be there, that other, if the ramping system in a system is not present, then is there any problem? So we generally don't face any problem if we do not have a damping system. But what happens is that time waste happens. Time waste is happening. Okay, and the perfect reading or the perfect results takes time. Takes time. Suppose we have connected an ammeter through a load. Connected an ammeter through a load. Okay. Now due to this load, suppose 5 ohm load, and here it is 10 volt. The 2 ampere reading that we want to see is, we want to see the 2 ampere reading instantaneously. Not there must not be any delay. Okay, there must not be any delay in the output, or the delay in the result. Delay in the result. Okay, so that thing is observed, or that thing is taken out from the damping system. So damping system plays an important role in that regard. So in one line, if we want to define the system, we can say that it basically, it is a system which stops the oscillations of the pointer, oscillations of the pointer of the pointer at the final deflected position. At the deflected position final deflected position. Here one figure I have shown. Here you can see north pole and south pole is shown. This is the basically the dial. Here you can see the hair springs. Here is, you can see the mounting arrangement. This is the coil portion. This is the pointer. You can see the moving coil here. So this is a common figure. Now we will discuss in detail about this. Okay. Now coming to the next part, in the indicating instrument, in the part of the damping system, one more topic is very much important. That is the curve of the deflection and time curve. Now if we draw the deflection and time curve, that is here, if we plot the deflection theta and the time in this x-axis, so what we basically see here is one approach is that, suppose this is the steady state value, suppose this is the steady state value or the final deflection or the final deflection or the final deflection. Generally there are four type of approaches are there. There are four type of approaches are there. One approach is that whenever a result is obtained, or whenever a supply is given, we get the deflection then and there. So without much waste of time, we get to the final deflected position, and this is basically called as the critical damping state. This is basically called as the critical damping. In this case we get the result very quickly. Another approach is that uh, the result is obtained, but at a later time. This is called as the uh, that is the over damping. That is also called as the over damping. But in day-to-day usages, we basically use what is called as a under damping system. Now to represent under damping, this is a under damping system. This is a typical representation of an under damping system. Here you can see the oscillations are slowly dying out, and after some time it is getting to the zero or the final deflected position. Here what does this indicate? This basically indicates that whenever the pointer reaches from its 0 ampere position to the final deflected position, that is 5 ampere, there is certain amount of oscillations is there. Certain amount of oscillation is good. Okay, certain amount of oscillation for the system is good. So this certain amount of oscillations we are getting from the underdamped system. So in whatever instruments we are using, we basically employ this underdamped approach, neither the critical damp approach nor the overdamping approach. Overdamping takes greater time to get to the final result. Critical damping gives the perfect result, but what happens there is, as there is a mechanical mass of the pointer is there and there is an inertia, this inertia has an effect on the final output. That means there is a decay or there is a life loss of the instrument, we can say. But if we allow certain amount of deflection or small amount of deflection around the pointer, that gives the energy or the inertia to get dispersed in this manner. Okay, so this is the representation of the damping system. One more example I can give you, that is what we call it as the undamped system. In undamped system, basically the damping system is not included. In that case, what will happen is the final output we cannot even reach. This is the undamped case. This undamped situation is very difficult to obtain any final value. This is an undamped system. So by this explanation you can understand some of the characteristics. That is, over damping takes larger amount of time, critical damping takes the perfect time, under damping takes slightly less time, but what happens is there is an oscillation. But in over damping and critical damping there is no such as oscillations, but we basically apply under damping system because as every pointer has some mass, and due to that mass there is an inertia or change in the motion. So it is preferable to allow the pointer to have some oscillations. Another point is that in underdamped system we basically do not use the damping system. In that case we cannot reach the particular value. There is a range up to which the value generally oscillates. And here as you can see, this value is oscillating from this positive peak to negative peak, and we cannot get the final output to the final result. Now coming to the next part, that is, here we will discuss the deflecting torque. Here you can see that I have already discussed. Suppose a ammeter is there, current will be the reason because of which the deflection takes place. Now this deflection, what you can see here is a north pole or south pole is there, and whenever this is the hairspring arrangement, here is the moving coil is there. Whenever a current is flown through the coil, there will be a deflection of the pointer. This deflection is basically produced due to the deflecting torque. Now here you can see graphical representation. This is basically a permanent magnet. Okay, this is the permanent magnet. This is the this is what you can see, front view. Okay, front view we can see, and this is the 3D diagram you can see here as well. Okay, you can see the 3D diagram here as well. Okay, so here is the moving coil. Okay, here is the moving coil. Here is the spring for the control, here is another spring for the control, and here in the later another picture is there where I have shown you how this connection is getting done. Okay, so this is the north pole, this is the south pole. This is actually producing the flux, and there are two fluxes are produced, one due to the magnetic poles. This is producing one type of flux, and the current through the coil is producing another flux. Two different fluxes in interaction will produce the deflecting torque. Okay, so here we can see the direction of the deflecting torque is in this direction, and the control torque direction is in the opposite direction. Now coming to the next part, that is a simple deflecting torque instrument, what I have shown you earlier. That suppose this is an ammeter I have connected to any system. So this is a lamp. Now how the connections are basically done, here you can observe, here is this is the terminal connection. Okay, terminal connection 1, this is the terminal connection 2. So from this terminal the current is basically flowing to this part. This is the part where from where which we can get the, here the basically the current is flowing in this direction, and from that it is flowing through the springs, and it is going down through the coil, and after that passing through the coil it is going down to the springs, and then it is also coming out. This is the current flow direction you can see from this figure. And here you have also seen this permanent magnet arrangement, north pole and south pole. From north pole to south pole the flux lines are flowing in this direction. Okay, now here you can see a typical arrangement of how the pointer is actually mounted. Here you can see the coil, and above that coil the pointer is basically mounted. Okay, so the zero adjuster is basically one system is there which basically adjusted the final deflection or the zero reading with the meter reading. Okay, here you can see the springs are there, phosphor bones springs are there, pointers are there. We will discuss this in when we talk about the moving coil type instrument. You will get a detailed idea. Here just you need to understand one simple thing. Suppose this is the position 1, suppose this is position 2, this is position 1, and this is position 2. Okay, in this direction the current starts to flow. From there it is passing through this hairspring now to this coil, after to that this hairspring, and it is coming out in this direction. Okay, so this is the normal current flow direction, and this is actually producing one type of the flux, and this permanent magnet is also producing another type of the flux. These two fluxes actually producing the deflecting torque in the ammeter. This much you need to understand from this. Now coming to the different deflecting torques that are produced in instruments, basically due to magnetic effect, electrostatic effect, electromagnetic attraction repulsion effect, electromagnetic induction effect, thermo EMF effect, and chemical effect are the reasons. Now magnetic effect is basically shown in PMMC and electromagnetic meter type or EMMC instrument we can see. Electrostatic effect is electrostatic voltmeters we can see. Electromagnetic attraction repulsion is basically moving iron type instrument we can see, and for the electromagnetic induction type we basically see in the induction type instrument. The thermo effect is basically thermocouple instrument, and there is for chemical effect we basically see it in the DC ampere hour meters. Now two more points are there. One is we call it as the Hall effect generator. Hall effect is also there. Another example is Hall effect. Okay, in Hall effect basically we are using the Gauss meter and the flux meter slash Gauss meter we are using, and in the last part, that is the piezoelectric effect. One more thing is that there is a piezoelectric effect. piezoelectric effect. Okay. So this piezoelectric effect actually produced by the piezoelectric transducer. Piezoelectric piezoelectric transducer. Piezoelectric transducer. Okay. Now first take into consideration this part, that is a magnetic effect. In PMMC type instrument, basically deflecting torque for a PMMC type instrument is proportional to the current. Okay. For this is only applicable for the PMMC type instrument. Okay. And this is applied for the DC instruments. DC. Okay. Only applicable for the DC instrument. In case of PMMC type instrument, what we have observed, that deflecting torque is proportional to I square. That is, current square is proportional. In that case, it is applicable for AC as well as DC. Both the applications we have seen. Now, in PMMC type, we have only seen the applications of as an ammeter and a voltmeter, and whereas in EMMC type we have seen ammeter, voltmeter, and wattmeters are basically made. Now, in this is the application. Here you can see the magnetic effect for PMMC type instrument. The current varies as the proportional to the deflecting torque, and here current varies as the square of the deflecting torque. Now, for an electrostatic voltmeter, what we have observed here is that the deflecting torque is proportional to V square. It is the supply voltage whatever is given, the square, and it is also applicable for AC as well as DC. In the both cases we can apply. Now, for electromagnetic instrument, that is MI type instrument, the deflecting torque is proportional to basically current square. Current square is only in terms of current square, this is basically proportional, we can see here. Another thing is that we are using the thermal effect. In the thermal effect as well, the heat we know that H is equals to I square RT, the simple formula. From here we can observe that H is also proportional to I square in this case. So in induction and in other cases, the deflection is dependent upon the proportionality, deflected upon the current, and it is proportional. Here the square term variation is observed in this term, that is electro EMMC type instrument, in MI type instrument, in electrostatic voltmeter type instrument, and in thermocouple type instrument. So this is the relationship of the different effects that are seen in different types of instruments, and what are the relationship of the deflecting torque with respect to the current, with respect to the voltage. I have seen their representation, whether it is connected, whether it is square of the current, whether it is proportional to current. Here I have seen all the four topics. Just go through them and you will have the greater idea in detail. Okay, we will be taking up individually PMMC, EMMC, and MI type instrument, and there as well we will be discussing the same thing and with further detail. Just you get the brief idea about what are the deflecting torques in different instruments. Now, some of the key points to remember is that, first of all, we have observed that only PMMC type instrument is one such instrument which is only used to measure DC only. Okay. Other than that, in the case of EMMC type instrument and MI type instrument, we have seen on DC and AC, both we can use. Okay. But another observations we have found that induction type instruments, induction type instruments are basically used for AC only. So this is one typical observations that we have already obtained in the class, in this session as well. Okay. Now one more point to be added is here, that whenever a meter reads a DC, that means it is basically reading the average value. So if a question comes where it is saying that which meter reads the average value, so PMMC type instrument reads the average value. Only DC, this is PMMC type instrument. But whatever other the instruments are there which basically measure the AC quantity, these are basically measuring the RMS value. Okay, whenever an instrument is there which is basically measuring the AC quantity or AC/DC both, in that case they are actually measuring the RMS value of the quantity under measurement. Now we have one more type of instrument that is called as the rectifier type instrument. Basically, rectifier type instrument is nothing but a PMMC type instrument. Whatever the PMMC readings are obtained, if we multiply with form factor, with the PMMC reading, we will get the rectifier type instrument. Okay, we will get the rectifier type instrument result. So Kf is basically form factor. Kf is basically form factor. Now it basically we know a simple value that is 1.11 for the form factor value, but for this is for the sinusoidal signal. Sinusoidal signal. If the input is sinusoidal, we can say that the Kf value is 1.11. Okay. Now there has to be a calibration. Okay, suppose if a rectifier type instrument we are using, if we are giving square wave as input, okay, in that case this kf has to be adjusted. Has to be adjusted, it has to be different. If we are using triangular triangular or sawtooth wave. So in that case, the scales have to be adjusted. So what it needs to be done? The scale has to be adjusted. Scale has to be adjusted. Adjusted. Other than that, we will not get the desired result, because here, if we use only 1.11 factor, that means it is only applicable for sinusoidal input, not for this square wave, triangular wave, sawtooth wave. This is not applicable. So this is the key points that we need to keep in mind. Okay, so this is the observation, these are the key points to remember. Okay, so thank you everyone for attending the class. I hope you have understood the basic ideas what I have tried to mention here. I have basically here discussed the three parts, that is deflecting torque, that is control torque, and that is damping torque. After that, I have discussed the basic idea of the whatever the deflecting torques are there for different instruments, whatever the deflecting torques we have observed, we have discussed that. And after that, we have taken care the special points and notes, okay, that we need to take care. And we have also discussed in damping system what are the different types of under damped, over damped, and critically damped systems are there. Just go through the lecture once again and we'll have a greater idea. Thank you everyone for doing joining EC Electrical and doing this class. Thank you.